Welcome to our new podcast series. President Trump's shocking statements towards Canada could herald a new era in the global economy and geopolitics. How is Canada's move to recognize a Palestinian state leading to a stalemate in its trade relations with the US? And how does this situation affect other major players in the region? Watch closely, because these developments could change much more than you think. To avoid missing critical analyses like this, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. In future videos, you'll find much more of these in-depth analyses. President Trump was furious when our North American neighbor, Canada, announced its intention to recognize a Palestinian state. As you recall, Trump had set an August 1st deadline for international trade agreements, and this date was a critical turning point for Canada. Now, Trump openly states that a new trade agreement with Canada is almost impossible. Wow! Canada announced its support for Palestinian statehood. This will make it very difficult to make a trade deal with them. Oh, Canada! These words were more than just a threat. They mean Canada will face a 35% tariff bill. So why did Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney take this risk? Carney announced that if the Palestinian Authority meets certain commitments, they will recognize Palestine as a state at the UN General Assembly in September. This move coincided with France announcing a similar plan, and the UK warning that it would follow suit if Israel does not improve the humanitarian situation in Gaza. This international stance further isolates the Trump administration and the Israeli government on the global stage. There's a detail often overlooked here. These countries recognizing Palestine is not just a symbolic step, but also a sign of increasing international pressure on Israel. But what will be the outcome of this pressure in the shadow of trade wars? In the next stage, we will discuss the deep strategies and background plans behind Canada's decision. Amidst the tension with Canada, a noteworthy development occurred in the US Senate. The Senate rejected a resolution to ban arms sales to Israel. This vote exposed new and deep divisions within the Democratic Party, while also highlighting growing frustration over the humanitarian situation in Gaza. This effort, led by Senator Bernie Sanders, was rejected by a vote of 27 to 70. However, what's important is that 12 new Democratic senators, who had previously supported arms sales to Israel, joined Sanders this time. Sanders said, "This resolution is absolutely necessary, because the US will have no credibility in the international community if it doesn't object." These words indicate a serious internal reckoning within US Middle East policy. Moreover, even President Trump's opposition to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's denial of the hunger crisis claims in Gaza further complicates the situation. Key figures like Senator Angus King, withdrawing their support for the Netanyahu government, citing Israel's use of starvation as a weapon of war, emphasizes the changing political climate. King stated, "I couldn't take it anymore. I kept expecting Israel to wake up and understand what a terrible thing they were perpetrating and at least open up humanitarian aid. But they kept doing it, and I reached the point where I said enough." So, which way will these internal cracks steer US foreign policy? And will these developments pave the way for other countries to take bolder steps on Palestine? Now let's turn to the unknown consequences of these developments globally. Underlying all these developments we've covered so far are deeper, largely publicly unknown strategic moves. Canada's decision to recognize Palestine might not just be a foreign policy move, but also an attempt to weaken the US's hand in future trade negotiations. Remember, Canada has been in a trade war for months, and Trump's August 1st tariff threat is creating serious pressure. Canada's withdrawal of its digital services tax was meant to advance broader negotiations. However, the Palestine move added a completely different dimension to these negotiations. According to leaked reports, Canada's move is rumored to be in coordination with other European countries, aiming to present a united front against the US. The goal is to form an international bloc against US trade policies and protect their own interests this way. This is not just about the Palestinian issue, but also part of a larger power game concerning the future of global trade. So, how much will the Senate vote? And the criticisms coming even from Trump's own party strengthen this international front? And what unforeseen consequences will these tensions have on global supply chains? As you can see, the pieces are moving on the world stage, and every step leads to unexpected new outcomes. To closely follow such critical developments, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video. In our next video, we will analyze the effects of these trade tensions on global markets and how companies are preparing for this situation in much greater depth. Don't miss it.